Some 80% of the world's wastewater is dumped back into the environment, polluting rivers, lakes, and oceans. This widespread problem of water pollution is jeopardizing our health. Unsafe water kills more people each year than war and all other forms of violence combined. Water consumption refers to the amount of water that is not released back to the watershed from which it has been withdrawn, that is, due to evapotranspiration or plant uptake. Almost 40% of the world population and many ecosystems are suffering from water scarcity. Global stress on water and land resources is increasing as a consequence of population growth and increased per capita protein and food energy demand. Global production of biologically derived energy and material resources is expanding and will mostly lead to a substantial increase in agricultural production in the future. As a result of these pressures, water scarcity and land degradation rival climate change as major environmental concern in many regions of the world. The environmental impacts of water consumption and water stress are manifold. Aquatic organisms may be directly affected by water depletion, while groundwater-dependent terrestrial ecosystems downstream of the location of water use may also suffer from reduced water availability. Water scarcity decreases crop yields and people, especially in the developing world. They may suffer from malnutrition. Fossil groundwater resources, reservoirs, and lakes are already being depleted in many regions. All these environmental impacts are heavily dependent on spatial conditions. 1 liter of water consumed in the Nile watershed, for instance, does not compare to 1 liter of water from the Mississippi because water is much scarcer in the Nile watershed. Pollution is the introduction of harmful materials into the environment. These harmful materials are called pollutants. Pollutants can be natural, such as volcanic ash. They can also be created by human activity, such as trash or runoff produced by factories. Pollutants damage the quality of air, water, and land. Pollution is a global problem. Although urban areas are usually more polluted than the countryside, pollution can spread to remote places where no people live. Air and water currents carry pollution. Ocean currents and migrating fish carry marine pollutants far and wide. Winds can pick up radioactive material accidentally released from a nuclear reactor and scatter it around the world. Smoke from a factory in one country drips into another country. Polluted air can be dangerous. Even if the pollutants are invincible, it can make people's eye burn and make them have difficulty breathing. It can also increase the risk of lung cancer. Sometimes, air pollution kills quickly. In 1984, An accident at a pesticide plant in Bhopal, India, released a deadly gas into the air. At least 8,000 people died within days. Hundreds of thousands more were permanently injured. Natural disasters can also cause air pollution to increase quickly. When volcanoes erupt, they eject volcanic ash and gases into the atmosphere. Most air pollution is not natural. However, it comes from burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas. When gasoline is burned to power cars and trucks, it produces carbon monoxide, a colorless, odorless gas. The gas is harmful in high concentrations or amounts. City traffic produces highly concentrated carbon monoxide. Cars and factories produce other common pollutants, including nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and hydrocarbons. These chemicals react with sunlight to produce smog, a thick fog or haze of air pollution. Smog can be brown or grayish blue, depending on which pollutants are in it. Smog makes breathing difficult, especially for children and older adults. Some cities that suffer from extreme smog issue air pollution warnings. The government of Hong Kong, for example, will warn people not to go outside or engage in strenuous physical activity when smog is very thick. Human activity contributes to water pollution. Chemicals and oils from factories are sometimes dumped or seep into waterways. These chemicals are called runoff. Chemicals in runoff can create a toxic environment for aquatic life. A major source of water pollution is fertilizer used in agriculture. Fertilizer is material added to soil to make plants grow larger and faster. Fertilizers usually contain large amount of the elements nitrogen and phosphorus, which help plants grow. Rainwater washes fertilizers into streams and lakes. There, the nitrogen and phosphorus cause cyanobacteria to form harmful algal blooms. Rain washes other pollutants into streams and lakes. It picks up animal waste from cattle ranches. Cars drip oil onto the street, and rain carries it into storm drains, which lead to waterways such as rivers and seas. Rain sometimes washes chemical pesticides off of plants and into streams. Pesticides can also seep into groundwater, the water beneath the surface of the earth.